Leveling up is a must-need mechanic that not only allows you to have more health throughout the game, but also the ability to use different weapons or magic, and overall makes the game more manageable. So that begs the question, can you beat Dark Souls 2 at level 1 without leveling up? Yes. Yes, you can. I'll be playing and ranking Dark Souls 2, this game sucks, Dark Souls 3, Sekiro, and Elden Ring. And I'll be ranking them on a scale of 1 through 10, 3 different times, 1 for early game, 1 for mid game, and 1 for late game, and then taking averages to see which is the hardest. Welcome to Dark Souls 2, the best game in the entire franchise. And I'm dead. And let's see if it can beat Dark Souls 1 in difficulty. Starting off, I named my character Randa. I don't know why, but I made this beautiful creation, and I chose the level 1 class, because this is a level 1 run. Why this white? I then start off by grabbing the tutorial dagger, because it's one of the only weapons I can use throughout the entire game. What happens in here? Because my stats are so bad. Luckily, there are items you can wear that increase your stats, but we'll get into that later. Because now, no, it's okay, take your time. We head to the Forest of the Fallen Giants. After murdering every hollow in the nearby area. Oh yeah, this is good. DS2 is good. I then grab the hand axe, which means I already have half my weapons I can use with my base stats. Fun. I then made this super cool jump first try. How do you jump in this game? I then speak to Kel for our love of maps and his house key and murder him so I can get his helmet. That gives me 2 more dex and 1 more stamina. Dude, what? This game is so bad. I then got a little spooked. Whose shadow is that? And I instantly ran to the first boss of this game, the last giant, who has a weirdly shaped hole in his face. Whoa. How can he even see? Anyway, this boss literally does the same attack over and over and over again, and his phase 2 is him ripping off his own arm and then swinging it. Safe to say this boss was the easiest thing maybe of all time. That was pretty hard. I then got the soldier key, which I can use to go to the pursuer, who has a crossbow that just murders him. Sadly, I messed up both times, which means I have to fight him normally. Good thing is, you can just strafe right and dodge right, and he can't hit you, and you can hit him for a good bit of damage. So this boss was very easy, just like the last one. I now get picked up by this bird who drops me off at the Lost Bastille, and I fight the pursuer again here, because for some reason he's here again. You're dead. And there's only one reason I'm here. It's to explode this area and get this blacksmith who sells large titanite shards, which means I can upgrade my weapon to +6 now. Now, it's time to head to Hyde's Tower of Flame, the first area where I felt like I died. Oh, this guy's swinging around. Like, who swings a sword like that? Too many times. I'm not fighting that. Yeah, no, I'm okay. Good thing I could just skip everyone and go straight to the boss. Time for Dragon Rider, who you can usually cheese, but I accidentally put up the rings, so we're just gonna fight him normally. And I do a lot of damage, so he died very fast. Very easy boss. Kinda wish I could have just cheesed him, but it's oh god. I then grabbed the Chloranthy ring because I need more stamina. And I paid this lady to move this for me, even though I feel like I could have very easily done it myself. Scam me out of 2K there, lady. I'm gonna just murder this guy. And now, I'm in Huntsman's Corpse, a place where basically nothing happens between the bonfire and the boss. So we're just gonna skip to DS2's most infamous boss, a gank fight, because that's everywhere in this game. So it's time to fight Skeleton Lords. What is this? And if you can't tell, there's a lot of skeletons. But actually, the boss is very easy because the Skeleton Lords themselves take like 4 hits to die, and the skeletons themselves take like 1 or 2 hits to die, and I could hit a whole crowd of them at once. Oh my huge! And it just destroys the boss. So actually, very easy fight. Did it in literally 2 tries. Yay. Anyway, now that we're done with Skeleton Lords, we instantly get access to Harvest Valley. Good old Harvest Valley, am I right? Don't know what this place is, but this place has a lady, a lot of poison that for some reason does a lot more in this game than any other game, of course, and some Titanite chunks that allows me to level up my mace a little bit. Uh-oh. Also, it just has annoying enemies basically everywhere. Weave. Anyway, good thing is we have to fight the best boss in this game, Jabba the Hutt. If you didn't know, they had a crossover with Star Wars. That's why he's in this game. Really putting a lot of work, I see. I'm just kidding. They just ripped him off. And his moveset is swing, swing, slam. It is basic as can get. so he died. Very hard boss. It is now time to go through the wonderful area. Cool. No. Good game of Earthern Peak. Stop! I love. This has seemed to be a bad idea. This place. Luckily, this place has a special item. The Work Hook, which gives me +5 dex and matched with Kane's helmet, gives me enough dex to two-hand the rapier, which has more damage and longer reach than the mace. So I'm going to be using it for the rest of the game. So we level that up. It is now time for... doesn't hit me. That doesn't. Time for Mytha. And this boss is easy after you get in the arena. Every time Mytha attacks, she kind of just stands there and lets you hit her 2 to 3 times. So that means she's GG, too easy, because my damage was very good. I wish I could walk the arena. I would have did that first try, but I then go up this elevator and somehow end up in a fiery Bowser castle. That doesn't make a lot of sense, but the whole reason I'm here is to get charcoal pine resin because it'll increase my damage in boss fights. We'll be back here later. This place in fact sucks. Moving on, I'm at the Shaded Woods and I grabbed the Chloranthy ring +1. Nothing important happens here, so we make our way through it, and now it's time for Quelaag's sister. I think. They have some similarities.
What do you mean by that?
Except this one's a scorpion. No, I don't know how to say her name, that's why I'm saying Quelaag's sister. Now, even though I do a lot of damage to this boss, and she has a bunch of simple moves, I actually died quite a bit, specifically because... Can we get a replay on everything that hit me there?
Nope.
I'm not patient, and I try to kill her as fast as possible, when in reality, the best way to fight this boss is just wait for her to do some stupid tail attack, because that's when she's most open. Every other attack is super clunky, and with my 3 ADP, it is very easy for me to get hit. So I won with some patience. Now that she's dead, that signifies the end of DS2's early game, which I'm going to give a 2 out of 10, because every single boss except for the last 2 I first or second tried, and the areas actually weren't too bad yet. I then traverse myself to Brightstone Cove Tesseldora, where I put on this Jester mask and I farm these peasants over and over and over again because they drop little peasant clothes that give me more ADP, which means I now have 9 iframes of rolling instead of 8. Fun. Oh, I do it! I do it! Now my 9 iframes. There's a boss! It's time to fight another enemy spam boss. Does this kill me? But this one's actually very easy. None of them are actually threats. They all kind of sit there and look at you, and they have no health. Doesn't seem too difficult, like one bit actually. GG, too easy. I then try to run through the rest of Tesseldora. Keyword try. You're a loser, dude. It's DS2, by the way, because I died way too many times. It's so bad. Look at this. I don't know what they were thinking when they put 15 spiders, an invader, and a random spider guy in the room and called it a day. Okay, so he's literally dead. But dude, like, why is he in this little hallway? You deserve to be fired. Every spider in this building deserves to die. I then decided to level my weapon all the way up to 10 because I thought it'd probably make it easier. After finally making it past that area, I make my way to Freya, who was clearly taken straight from Night Rain. I mean, same name and everything, am I right, guys? Anyway, this boss is actually very easy. Run! The only thing that's annoying about it is the stupid spiders around the area, because wow, can they just insta-kill me. But the boss itself is very slow, very easy to hit. The only annoying part is I have to hit in the head, but then again, it's very slow, so it was actually insanely easy. Look, why are the spiders still here? I now have my first Great Soul, and the next one is in... Oh no, man. Who? And there's just one behind me. They genuinely just spawn one in whenever they feel like it. We have our first controller throw at the wall. You probably didn't pick it up. I don't know why I tried to fight that guy. What am I doing? What am I doing? All right, it's official. This area is worse than Blighttown, and it's not close, and I'm dead. Like, who hit me? After finally getting this bonfire, after an hour and 15 minutes, if you can't tell, I hate this entire area, I got to the Old Iron King, who is super cheesable. So obviously, can you give me a second? That's what I'm gonna do. You stand right beside this wall, and then wait for him to do his laser attack and get 4 to 5 hits off, and you go right back, because every other attack cannot hit you when you stand there, and you rinse and repeat until he eventually folds. Wow, you really did a lot there. Now that I have my second Great Soul, I then went back to Shaded Woods, where I can get more pine resin that allows me to make my weapon electric, which is slightly better than fire. Next, Lord Soul, we gotta jump down this hole. Oh, okay. We gotta jump down this hole better. That's more like it. Totally didn't like get a ring or anything. I just like jumped down the hole better. I'm now at the gutter, where I totally hit this skip on purpose fully.
I like you, man. You lie a lot.
Yo, I totally did that on purpose. The enemies in this area are a lot easier to kill than the enemies in the past two areas, and it's also easier to just run by them, so I actually got to the boss very fast. So it's time to fight the Rotten. So are you chill or what? The Rotten is certainly a boss. Definitely not a hard one though, because he attacks and I dodge and I do a lot of damage. And he just died. Somehow that's a Great Soul boss, so now it's on to the last one, where I go to No Man's Wharf, destroy the Flexile Sentry at level 1, and go to the other side of the Lost Bastille using this pirate ship. And the rest of Lost Bastille was actually really easy to run through. There wasn't a lot of enemies, and if they were, they weren't that annoying. So now, it's time for Lost Center, and I think he's the most advanced boss I fought in this game so far. Too bad, every attack you can just sway right and dodge right, like every other boss in this game, and he just misses you. And he also doesn't have that much health, so GG too easy. Now that I got my last Great Soul, yay, go me. That marks the end of DS2's mid-game, and I'm gonna rightfully put it at a 5.5, because every boss was actually super easy, but those areas, man, those areas suck. If any of the bosses were somewhat challenging, I could have given it a 6.5, but no. Instead, this is a primal ball. Whoa! Going on to the end game of DS2, it's time for Dragonlance Castle. And this place is actually pretty chill, but it's a little bit of a long area. Not much happened though. No! We took each other! So we made it to Dragon Rider Squared, because there's two of them. This is also the same Dragon Rider, so I do the same thing with the first one, murder him, and the second one has a puny amount of health, so he died. I killed them all. Women, the children too. I slaughtered them like animals.
Man, shut your bitch ass.
Anyway,
Why is there a ghost sticking through the wall? What is that?
I killed this horse so I can get Go's Ring, which has a man clutched to the back of your head so you don't get hit from behind. That makes a lot of sense actually. Oh no, I didn't think it was B2. There's 3! Moving on from whatever that is, I ran through the area some more. Oh, they're way faster than I thought they were gonna be! And now we're at Looking Glass Knight. I think this is actually my favorite boss in this entire game. Like, this boss actually has a dynamic moveset. He has multiple attacks that are different, not just the same slash slash slash, which, yes, makes him like mid, but mid is the best in this game. He does summon a little guy, but the guy is actually kind of a pushover, so I don't really care about that. However, this boss is decent. What do you mean? It doesn't change the fact that DS2 is DS2. Mirror Glass Knight has a lot of health compared to most bosses in this game, but it also has a lot of openings between every single attack. So after I kind of learned the boss a little bit, it took me about 7 attempts, but I got it down. So eventually I won. I'm sorry. Wait, how much health do you guys? I'm sorry. Moving on, it's time for the save. They all saw me. An area arguably worse than Iron Keep. Yes, I died a lot. I ran through this area so many times that the first few enemies started despawning because I killed them so much. Didn't even know there was a feature in this game until this area. Finally, after an hour, even though this area is super short, I got to the boss. And wow, is Demon of Song the most mechanically insane boss ever? And he one-shot me. No, I'm just kidding. He literally has one move. And that's it. Holy, I don't even know how you're supposed to beat it. Not with him dead. We're going to Undead Crypt. Holy sweet mama. I decided to run by every single enemy in this area. And it actually worked insanely well. And I got the shortcut for the boss in less than 10 minutes. And we're already fighting this boss. And I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. I'm going to give it an attempt. Velstata. That was pretty good.
Wrap it up.
This boss is super slow and really easy to dodge. What? Sadly, DS2 is still clunky, so he's still going to hit you sometimes, but he also has a lot of time to hit him in between moves, because, like I said, he is super slow, and my damage is still pretty decent, even though this is a later game boss. So, I beat him pretty easily. Die. GG's Velstata. Who is that? I then grabbed the King's Ring and tried to murder this guy. Luckily, I spared him out of pity. Not the Shaded Woods, because I have the King's Ring, I opened this door. And this area isn't DS2 coded. There's barely any enemies, so I can just run by everything. And if there is an enemy, okay, there might have been 2 enemies then. Good old DS2. Gotta love Miyazaki. Anyway, on to Guardian Dragon, who has the same moveset as the last giant. Just stomp. Unless you get unlucky like me, where he just flies up in the air over and over and over again, 5 fights in a row, and you can't hit him, and he just eventually kills you. But if you just keep getting the stomp attack, GG easy. Which eventually, obviously, I did. Finally, I got some good boss RNG. He wasn't just flying up in the air and staying there. Now, somehow, I'm gonna take this elevator up and end up in Dragon Airy, like this store. How did we go up and end up at that? Okay, DS2, whatever. No! No! Totally not skipping Fencer Sharon. I use this zip line so I could skip that entire area and then get here and then run by the rest of the enemies and then get to this big dragon that you actually can fight as a boss. But why would I do that when I could just talk to him and he'll give me what I need? No, come on, why are you running away? Come on, I got nothing to lose now. With my newfound item, I use it on this tree, and somehow I'm now in the past where there's a bunch of giants fighting some guys, and the giant lord is here, and it's the same insanely hard moveset that the other giant had, where he just stomps. So I killed him easily. Really a lot of scary moves there. I don't really know what to do. Now, with my new key, I head back to Drangleic Castle, where I can now open this door. And it leads me to Throne Watcher and Throne Defender. And oh man, was this a struggle. Oh, it one-shots me! I fought this boss for 2.5 hours. And there's one main reason. He pulls out the life gem, looks at it again, pulls it out again, out of his pocket again, puts it back in his pocket, pulls it out, looks at it, and then cracks it. Like, what is this animation? My 9 iframes can't handle. I have no health, dude. 2 enemies attacking me at the same time that 2-shot me. That kills? Also, the same exact time. They 1-shot me when they level up their weapons. So, my 9 iframes, I mean, it's GG's, bro. We're struggling a little bit too hard. There are also multiple other downsides. Like, if you kill one of them and the other one lives for too long, they'll just res each other. So you have to kill them at relatively the exact same time, which is kind of hard for me to do. Second, I had no humanity, so I had to go get human effigies over and over again because I had no health throughout this fight, and I was running out of places to get them, so I had to murder a grandma. Yeah, she's gone. I needed those, sorry. Plus, this boss just has a lot of health for there being 2 bosses. It's just such a bad boss. It got so bad to where I started summoning Bernhardt. Oh, hello, yeah. I don't summon in videos like ever. That's how bad I was struggling with this boss. And I still was losing. Dude, like, what is that jumping? Because the guy doesn't do anything except tank damage, which actually was very helpful. I also had to wait for this door and do this run back every single time I died. Luckily, what is she doing? This will be the last time because me and Bernhardt absolutely jumped these 2, and for once we're able to get them down low enough to the same amount of HP to where I could take one out and eventually take the other out as they were healing. You stupid idiots! That was all me. No summons or anything. Crazy. And now it's time for Nashandra, the final boss of the game that is a literal joke compared to what I just fought. The only thing special that Nashandra does as the final boss of the game is Curse You, which just drops your max health as if you died. Anyway, you can stand at a medium distance and bait out these beam attacks every single time, which are very easy to capitalize on. You can get like 5 to 6 hits off between each one. So I destroyed her. Final boss is actually a fraud. And with all that done, we have finished the endgame of DS2. We also beat DS2. We did both of them. But I'm gonna give it a 6.5 because Throne Watcher and Throne Defender took me longer than every other boss combined. And that one area was not fun, just as bad as Iron Keep. And with this rankings in, that puts DS2 at a 4.7 out of 10. So that means DS2 is the hardest game we played so far. We've only played 2, by the way. So with me becoming the Elden Lord, that wraps up the video. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and comment and subscribe if you made it all the way to the end. It truly does help me out a lot. And also, Dark Souls 3 will be coming out very, very soon. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And also, I'm sure you're going to like this one too. So why don't you click on it, please.